So betting on sports intrigues you. You've decided to become resolute about being better at it this year. Perhaps it's new to your jurisdiction, or you believe it'll be coming to your state in the coming year. Well, now is a good time to think about the ways that you can become a better sports bettor. In this video, we're going to explore some ways that you can improve your game right now. Welcome back, everyone. If you're new to this channel, well, hello. I'm not sure what took you so long, but my name is Jack, and I produce sports betting educational content that doesn't try to trick you with affiliate links or try to spoon feed you some lousy picks that are no better than a coin flip. All I ask from you in return is a simple thumbs up, and if I've earned it, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you'll see more sports betting content just like this. By the way, we're getting very close to 10,000 subscribers, and when we hit that mark, I'll be releasing a video that I've been working on for quite some time called How to Make $100,000 a Year Betting on Sports. If by the time you're watching this video it's already out, I'll put a link to it in the corner of the screen. By the way, that video is not going to be clickbait. It's an actual plan that you can follow to reach that lofty goal if you work hard enough. And hey, your sub might be the one that puts us over the top, so please subscribe. For now, though, we're talking about making today the day that you turn the corner and become the sports bettor that you want to be. Now, the first thing I recommend doing is making a plan. Now, I get it. You're a bettor. You like to bet. Betting on sports is a recreational activity for you. Making a plan seems like a cumbersome, unnecessary step to you, but hear me out. One of the issues a lot of people have when they bet on sports is that they become undisciplined. Well, when you make a plan, you are able to chart your course and reach the goals that you define so that you become a better sports bettor as the year progresses on. Now, I'm a professional gambler by trade, and as such, I conduct myself professionally so that I file my taxes, for instance, as a sole proprietor business. And one of the things I do to conduct myself professionally is at the start of each year, I sit down and I create a business plan for the coming year. I chart out what my income streams are and how I expect to realize those profits. You're likely not a professional gambler, though, and you don't need to be as professional in your pursuit of profit. Even something as simple as, in the next year, I'm going to stick with a defined unit size and not bet bigger when I've lost a few games in a row. Or maybe, in the next year, I'm only going to handicap college basketball, Major League Baseball, and the NFL, and I won't try to cover more sports than I have time to keep up with. Or, in the next year, absolutely no parlays. Unless I have single straight bets already on each leg, in that case, I'll just combine together a little bit and try to go for a big hit. Look, however you decide to approach this, making a plan is a healthy way to look forward to what you hope to accomplish in sports betting. Of course, it goes without saying that making a plan also requires you to stick to the plan. That's why I think it would be best if you were to write it down or print this out and then keep it handy so that you can refer to it multiple times over the course of the year. Look, I refer to my business plan at the end of each quarter. Some quarters I look back with a sense of accomplishment of what I was able to realize in my goal, and some quarters I look back with a sense of embarrassment that I came up short. Benefiting from having a plan is as simple as ABC. You need to make a plan, you need to be the plan, and then you can see the plan succeed. It's as simple as that. Do whatever you can to make a plan that you can follow this year. You know yourself well. Make sure it's within your tolerances and abilities. And I think you're going to find this is a valuable and not so hard step to take in order to become a better sports bettor. The next way to make this the best year of sports betting yet is to get out more. Strike that. It's to get more outs. I'm sure we would all like to get out more at this point. For those of you who don't know, an out is what we call a place to bet, a sports book. If you're fortunate to be watching this in a regulated environment that has plenty of sports books available to you to sign up for, well then great. This will be easy. If you're watching this from a jurisdiction that either doesn't have regulated sports betting, or maybe they have monopolistic sports betting where it's only one operator to choose from, well, then this is a bit more tricky. Now, I don't want to upset the YouTube algorithms by suggesting anything that might not be legal in wherever you're watching this from. So I'm going to have to leave it up to you to find out how to get more outs. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk about what are the benefits of having more outs so that you're encouraged to go about this. I can't stress this enough. The single sharpest thing that you can do as a sports bettor is to line shop. Make sure you're always getting the best possible price for whatever you want to bet. And the process to accomplish this is pretty simple. You can refer to an odds screen, or you can simply log in to all of your accounts and see who has the best price for whatever you want to wager on. Now, line shopping to you may seem ridiculously easy or incredibly tedious, but the effectiveness of it can't be disputed. If you are constantly paying 5 cents less in VIG or getting a free half point, you are reducing the house edge that you're playing into. At the very least, you will lose less in the long term. Now, I've mentioned here before, plenty of times, that you should try to sign up for every sportsbook that's available in your jurisdiction to take advantage of sign-up offers and ongoing promotions. And this still rings true. If you haven't yet signed up for all of the sportsbooks in your area, I recommend doing so. It's usually around the Super Bowl, March Madness, and the start of the NFL season when these sports books become highly competitive with each other in trying to sign up new customers. So that's usually when the deals are the best. Now, of course, the benefit of having a sports book to line shop at far overweighs the sign-up promo in the long run. However, I throw that tip out there just in case when you're watching this video, it's coming up on one of those times and you need to be motivated to sign up for a few more books. So let's say you have a plan and you have plenty of outs. Well, what's the next way that you can make this year your best year of sports betting yet? Well, I think refining your approach to the what, when, and how you wager is an important thing to look at. The great thing about sports betting is it's always evolving. 20 years ago, nobody would have imagined that you'd be able to bet on hundreds of different derivatives on every single game. And the notion of in-game betting, well, that has germinated and sprouted into this vibrant and diverse market all to itself. You shouldn't be confined by just sides and totals that you wager on well before the game starts. Think outside that. For instance, if you do some back testing and you find that you can beat opening lines but not closing lines, well, then the logic might say, oh, I just need to bet earlier. Well, that's not always practical. Getting opening lines on major markets is sort of like capturing a leprechaun. Yes, you may be able to get a pot of gold if you do, but in reality, they just don't exist. Instead of betting early, why don't you think about different ways that you could skin the cat? So, for instance, the markets become too efficient for you, well then find markets that don't have time to become efficient. Halftime markets, for instance, there's only 12 to 15 minutes in a halftime, and the books don't have enough time to put up a line, see where the sharps are, follow the rest of the market, and keep up with the line moves. Halftime lines can be very inefficient. Along that same line of thinking is in-game betting. That's even less of a time window for operators, and opportunity can exist there as well. Perhaps you just need to shift your focus into the new markets that sports betting is evolving into. Now, the best way to do this is to observe. I've talked about in the past about the scientific method and how that can be applied to sports betting. Well, the key component of the scientific method is observation. Keep your eyes open as to what's available to be wagered on and how markets are moving. Now, a word of caution, don't psych yourself out with this one. This doesn't need to be over complex. This could be as simple as deciding that DFS is a better option for you than trying to beat player props, or vice versa. As long as you take the time to see what's out there and then judge for yourself what the upside and downside of that market could be, you're taking the steps that are going to make you a stronger sports bettor. And to those of you who take sports betting a bit more seriously, well, be on the lookout for how sports betting is changing as the years go on. We're always having new operators come into the market that are going to have to find innovative ways to repackage sports betting. Perhaps they're going to offer something that is more beatable than you've experienced in the past. Perhaps it's a different way to bet rather than just laying odds against something. There's always a different way that sports betting can be done, and if you keep your eye out on what the cutting edge, the next big thing is, it could be highly beneficial for you to be a first mover into that market. Now, personally, I think that contests, season-long contests, are going to continue to become a big item in sports betting in the years to come. We're going to start to see multi-state contests, bigger pools. The operators like that they bring about return engagement from the players, and the players like that they are getting a season-long engagement for the money they put up to be in the contest. It's a win-win for both parties, and I think contests are going to be a big thing in the coming years. Now, lastly, one small step that could make a giant leap forward for you as a sports bettor is to keep records. Now, some people love to keep records while other people loathe it. I strongly suggest that you try your hardest to at least keep some kind of record of your betting. There is a ton of information that you can learn not only about yourself, but about the markets that you bet into if you keep records and then analyze them after the fact. By tracking what you bet, where you bet, the odds you got, and where the odds closed, you can see all sorts of things. Perhaps you'll find that you're better at totals than at sides, or that you really kick butt at props. Or perhaps you'll find that you had a winning record, but you had a negative closing line value. That's a red flag because the market is disagreeing with the bets that you're making. And then conversely to that, perhaps you had a losing record, but had positive closing line value. And that's a reason to be hopeful that you're on the right track. You just need to keep with it, and eventually your day will come and your results will turn around for you. Keeping records can define a lot more than you think. Now, I'm going to have other videos down the line that talk about analyzing your records and what you can see from it. But for now, I just want to encourage you to track your bets. So go ahead and open up Excel or Google Sheets and just give this a try. Each row becomes a different bet, and then you can set up columns that you can use to track the information. The reporting and dissection of those results will come later, but for now, just keeping a sheet is a big step forward. Just give it a try. Now, I know many of you are probably still shaking your head and saying, Jack, no way, I'm not doing it. I'm not keeping records. I don't have time for that. Well, I do have an alternative for you. At least try logging your bets in an app like BetStamp. Now, I have no affiliation with BetStamp. I'm not compensated by them. I don't have any deal with them. However, I've used the app. I think it's a pretty good app, and so I'm going to go ahead and give them a plug here. BetStamp is a decent way that you can track your bets as well as line shop. So in BetStamp, you can track your action, and the app will verify that the play was available at the sportsbook you played it at. It'll track your record, the ROI, the closing line value. You can go back later and analyze your record based on sport or sportsbook. And like I said, the app helps you with line shopping as well. Again, no sponsorship or affiliation deal here. I'm just telling you about a useful tool that I think will help you, especially if you are one of those people that don't want to take the time to track their own plays. BetStamp, give it a try. So there you have it. It's a new dawn for you. This business offers a ton of upside, and if you've got a plan and you've got outs and you've got an agile approach to your betting, and if you're tracking your bets, well, the sky's the limit for you this year in your betting. If this video was helpful, well, then give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up in the comments section below. I'm always available to discuss further. And hopefully I've earned your subscription. Now, if you're still on the fence with that, in a second here, there's going to be some links to some other videos that I've made. Maybe you need to watch a couple more to see how it's going. In the meantime, go out there and win some wagers, and we'll talk more next time. Thanks.